Good morning and welcome to the OhioRAAM TV show. Live from my Zwift distance world record attempt. I'm 834 miles in and 45 hours 45 minutes in of elapsed time with nearly 43 hours riding time.
I want to thank Chris Hopkinson up there in Yorkshire for providing that little video introduction to the show while he was doing his world record attempt with Zwift on a stationary bike, and we wish him well. Well, by the time this show airs, he will have finished, and we don't know the results now because he's riding even as we're talking. So thank you, Hoppo. I have green on because why? What day is it, Maria?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Hey, how do people in Puerto Rico celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
We celebrate everything. Every day is a celebration in Puerto Rico. So
here in the United States, people tend to get wasted, but we got two people who are here with us who were just recording a show. Tori, I'm sure the Irish that live in England celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but is that a general celebration in England?
Not like it is over in the States, no. I lived for a little while in Virginia, and St. Patrick's Day over there is huge.
The reason why we're talking about all this is because on today's show, on St. Patrick's Day, we're heading to Ireland.
So this is the OhioRAAM show, a show about cycling and ultracycling.
We are sponsored by Time Stations 41 in Oxford, Ohio, and Time Stations 42 in Blanchester, Ohio. And be sure and check the show notes that you'll find below the video if you're watching the show on OhioRAAMshow.com website. If you're watching on YouTube, check the show notes that you'll find the link to in the description box below the video.
So let's head to Ireland and let's talk to Jason and Joe for a bit.
Unfortunately, Jason and Joe are not going to be able to go to RAAM 2018 because of why? Well, what happens to so many people? Money. Sponsorships didn't come through. We're sorry about that, but we think they're worthy of talking to, and we hope that this will spark some interest in getting them some support. And so first of all, I want to say hello to my co-host, Maria. How are you doing, Maria?
Hi, Lee. I am doing great. How about you?
Well, I've had my little glitches, and now I got a sore throat, and I'm going to turn my mic off, and so I don't ruin the show here and let you do some interviewing. But you just got back from the world's time trial champions, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and I had a great time. And
so I want to just say hello to Joe here and then let you take over. Hey, hi, Joe. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, hi, Lee. It's great to be connected again. And hi to Maria.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to have you on.
I said the last time we saw Joe, he was in an RV. It was storming to beat the band, and we had a nice little chat there. Of course, everybody around was trying to get their eyes on Pippa Middleton. They seemed more attracted to her, Joe, than they did you.
Yeah. I wonder why.
All right, Joe. So I am very excited to meet you. I've been reading all about you, and you have so many accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate, Maria, that I've had the opportunity to coin a phrase. I've lived a dream, really. I started in Ireland. It's a long, long time ago, and I made my way, through the junior ranks quite quickly, mainstream. It wasn't long before I was representing Ireland at national level. Certainly from 1980 onwards, I started to make a big impact, like in the senior level, and I had won many national championships, both in road and time trial, and I was also I was probably one of the leading cyclocross riders that Ireland had at the time. So I think I've rode like 10 World Cyclocross Championships, and after the Commonwealth Games in New Zealand in 1990, I turned professional, and I was professional until 1997. I reverted back to amateur for a while, but it was just a difficult transition back, and I felt at that time my mainstream career was over. Never stopped riding my bike. Lee, I think I told you, my son got sick in 2007, and he was only 5 months old, and life took a completely new path for me. I spent 2 years, in the cancer program with him. In 2009 is when I found my way into ultra racing, and it was through my son's illness. I wanted to write a big fundraiser for the charity. Ironically, that year, the race around Ireland had its first year, and it was awarded one of the world rounds with the UMCA, and I knew nothing really about it, about that type of racing, and I was a mainstream guy, so very much a rookie, and very naively, I took on to do this over 2,000 kilometer race when not really having any understanding of how to do it. Fabio and I beat Mark as well in my first go, and won the race around Ireland. And from that point onwards, I got plummeted into this because it just intrigued me, and I thought it is without a doubt the most interesting and most rewarding aspect of the sport I've ever been in, and I've been in every aspect of it. It's just nothing sort of fantastic. I love every moment of it. So I progressed on, and I've ended up where I've ended up now, and I've made some fantastic friends around the world, and I have no regrets whatsoever. No. I'm getting an awful lot of enjoyment because I'm coming near the end of a long career, and I know that. But I can see, up until 2 or 3 years ago, I couldn't really see where I was going to position myself when I finished. But now I can clearly see that, and I can clearly see that there will come a point whenever I still have this fantastic team, and all we need is another young rider, and we can continue and do what we're doing. And
again, what is your objective for 2018? I believe you're.
Yeah, I am. 2018 is it's a very different year ahead for me. Basically, this year we've set off trying to go a little bit quicker, so we know we can go the distance, and now I'm trying to get faster. So I focused, with the change in all the rules this year with the UMCA, I focused a lot on the 500s. I chose the 508 because it's an intriguing race. There's a great history. The course looked like it sort of suited me a little bit, especially at the start and finish. And as it turned out, I led for 250, and then, as I say, Charles caught me, and I finished second overall, and I won the category. So that's going to lead me into 2019 RAAM, where I'll change category myself. My aim is to try and win the 60 category across RAAM if it's possible. That would be super special for me.
Well, I see. It looks like Jason is showing up. Can you hear us, Jason?
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm just getting on board here.
Hi Jason, how are you doing today?
I suppose really racing as a young underage mainstream cyclist from 12 years of age, and I suppose that kept going for years and years. And as a junior, and I raced then as a senior racer right up till I was probably 30 of age, and I was racing on the Irish scene. And I suppose really I got to a stage, in the later years where I just really couldn't keep up with the young 18, 19, 20-year-old. Really, I couldn't recover as fast to keep going in the attack. And during that whole episode in my life, cycling was my background. It was my foundation sport. Mountaineering was very much part of my life. Living in Donegal, we were blessed to live in the most incredible playground in nature on our doorstep. And I was just blessed to be able to be in the mountains as a young boy. I grew up as a Cub and Scout, and that manifested itself to bringing me to the lakes and the rivers and the mountains and the sea. And I suppose I just Mother Nature. And again, like that, I've watched Joe do what he's done. I'm a very proud advocate of Joe. He's an incredible endurance athlete, somebody I admire and respect, and by watching Joe and what he's done, it's opened doors into looking at other athletes and looking at other races, and I'm also trying to coach a team and to train a team to be able to compete in Europe. And we just come back from Texas there 4 weeks ago, and then next year to go into America with Joe and race RAAM, and big learning there with Joe and his team, and how we can build towards a solo ambition to ride a crowd in 2018. you know, I had qualified for Race Across America in Italy earlier this year. I had a strategy to just go out and go after a qualification, not to race, and I did. And we had never finished a race before, Maria, so we had loads of DNFs and stuff, and we just needed to get to the line, and it worked out great, and we got our qualification. I was so delighted and humbled by that, and then it was down to how the hell do we plan to race across America, 5,000 kilometers, and then. I was attending marathon, myself and my wife and my kids. We went in to spectate and support some friends that were taking part. And where I parked the car it was exactly where Joe and Jill and his kids had. And within 30 seconds, we were talking, and within no exaggeration, within a half an hour, we had hatched the plan to talk about would it be something that this could live with. Very honest to say that he had never done anything like this before, in the sense that he's always been very much a solo rider, doing his own thing, doing it his own way. And could he, should he, would he have the courage to open the door to another rider? And I'm grateful to Joe that he's going to show me as a rider how to get across RAM, and his team are going to work closely with my team to see if we can improve where we are. To make it a viable proposition for 2019. So, yeah, Joe's decision.
Nice. Tell me a bit, if you don't mind. I see you have quite a record here at Kilimanjaro and also Mount Elbrus. Do you mind talking about those two?
Earlier this year, I'm chasing the 7 summits, the 7 highest mountains on each continent in the world. At the minute, and it's a long-term project for me, Maria. It's it's an ambition I would love to achieve, and it's out there. I've bagged the big one, which is Mount Everest. The next big hurdle for me will be to get into Antarctica to take on Mount Vincent. And I plan to ski to the last digit on the axis of the Earth. So that's somewhere there on the horizon, which is. Look, they're just these very personal goals. They're certainly not egotistic. They're not for anything else other for me. But what's been absolutely incredible about this, Maria, is it's opened up the door for me to get into schools to talk to kids that are struggling with life and struggling with motivation and struggling with leadership. And I suppose even at this stage, it's the greatest summit I've stood on, is to stand in a classroom full of kids and to be able to just be Jason Black and talking openly and honestly about my life, the challenges that it had within it, and how I've been able to overcome them to get to where I am today.
Now I know who to call.
I think in my world, the most challenging thing that I've ever had to overcome was my son's illness, both on a practical level and on a level which impacted my mental state. It had a duration of quite a long period of time, even though a period of time that I continued to race through, but showing up every day in today's world is very different to showing up in that time. So I would say, from my point of view, that would certainly be one of the most difficult periods for me.
And for me, what I'm experiencing is that, I was treating each race, similar, and that we were making big mistakes on. I have to do more research into the race. I have to dig deeper and drill into the environments, the strategies, the road surfaces, every single part of the jigsaw puzzle, and I think Texas was our biggest learning curve, because we knew we were strong enough. I knew we were fast enough to be competitive within the race. But the one part of the jigsaw puzzle that we underestimated, even though we knew the weather was going to be extremely hot.
I think that we've sort of said that we're going there to race, and we're going to try, and we know what the record is for the 2-man team. So that's always the goal.
I want to thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you, Jason Black, and thank you, Joe Barr. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, Maria, for taking charge here and helping me out. You can see my throat's already losing some of its energy.
Yeah. Can I just say before we go, Lee, can you pass on big thank you to all the guys at the two timing stations in Ohio. We hope we hope to see them in June.
Well, they'll be waiting. They'll be there waiting for you. They'll be waiting for you. Okay.
Make sure they don't have any storms this time.
Oh no, we like to provide a little fireworks for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was a pleasure, guys, meeting you both.
Great stuff, guys.
Thank you all. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jason. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you. What a better way to spend St. Patrick's Day for us than in Ireland, even though we did it virtually. And we're really sorry that because your sponsorship didn't come through, that you're not able to make it to Race Across America 2018 after all. But we hope to see you again here sometime in the future. And we're in Dublin this weekend. That's Dublin, Ohio, not Dublin, Ireland, more is the pity, to the Race Across America Crew Seminar. And I received so much good feedback about having Maria on the show. And not only that, she also is the new owner and operator of Calvin's Challenge. Yes, Calvin's Challenge is back. It'll be happening on May the 4th and 5th in Springfield, Ohio. Be sure and check the website right below here on the web and the show notes and learn more about it. We hope that a number of you will show up and show your support for her courage to take over this race. There'll be a new location for the pit stop. There will be a new route. There'll be, as before, the 6 and 12 hour races, but there'll be a 24-hour race, which is a RAM qualifier. Hey, we got a great shot over there in Dublin of the three of us, not only Maria and myself, but also our videographer, Chuck Stiver. Hey, we got to have Chuck on the show sometime. He just works in the background, but we thank all of you who support the show. We thank you for your likes and shares on the social media. That helps people to become aware of ultracycling, and we appreciate it when you do that. Our next show on March the 27th, we're going back across the Irish Sea to London, England to visit with Russ Kessley, who will be racing as a solo rider in RAAM 2018. And he will have his crew chief along with his sponsor with him. So with that, we're going to say goodbye. See you again in about 10 days.